got my coffee and I'm sitting in front of my awesome fireplace, and I've even got my ugly Christmas sweater on. Today on Real Life Ren, we're talking about Santa Claus. So with it being Christmas season, I thought I would do a Christmas themed video. Let me tell you that I am a Christmas fanatic. It's my favorite time of the year, always has been since I was a little girl. I love snow, I love all things winter, and all things Christmas. So I thought I would sit down and do a video about something that can be kind of touchy for some people, but I think it might be kind of interesting for people to hear why we don't do Santa Claus in our house. But before I jump into this topic, let me just put a disclaimer out there for all of you people who are just ready to jump on me because you think I'm gonna say that having your kids believe in Santa Claus is evil and sinful and bad and wrong. That's not at all what I'm saying. I'm simply coming on to tell my story and why we made the choice we made for our family. And if you have made a different choice, I think that that is totally fine, and I don't think that believing in Santa Claus is inherently wrong or sinful. The Bible does not utter the word Santa Claus, so there's nothing that I can tell you as a Christian that Santa Claus is bad or wrong. A little backstory on me. I did not grow up believing in Santa Claus. That was a choice my parents made, and my husband also did not grow up believing in Santa Claus. So that's probably one of the main reasons we didn't feel super compelled to have our kids believe in Santa Claus. Neither of us have this like emotional connection to believing in him because of memories from our own childhood. I would say that's probably the main reason. When I was growing up, I was the kid in the neighborhood that was going around to all the other kids telling them that Santa Claus wasn't real. So my mom got a lot of really nasty phone calls from parents in my neighborhood. Another reason I personally don't really care for my children to believe in Santa Claus is because there's this huge thing around being naughty or being nice, and being on Santa Claus's naughty list or nice list. And throughout the year, if kids are naughty, their parents will say, "You better be good or Santa will know and you'll be put on the naughty list." And for me as a Christian, I just kind of feel like I would rather instill a sense of like doing the right thing because God wants us to do the right thing, and not because this mystical imaginary person out there who brings you presents wants you to do good. And probably the final reason we've made this decision, maybe this is a selfish reason, but when my kids open their presents on Christmas morning, I want them to full well know that I'm the one that bought those presents and wrapped them and put them under the tree. I want them to know that I love them and that's why I got them presents. I don't want some imaginary old man getting the credit for buying these presents and spending the money and wrapping them and putting them under the tree. So this morning we woke up to snow on the ground, finally. December 5th in Minnesota, that's pretty late for it to snow. And Abigail looks out the window and goes, "Is today Christmas?" So I had to tell her, unfortunately, no, we have a few more weeks until Christmas, but she's got Christmas on the brain. So at the breakfast table this morning, she goes, "I am so excited to see Santa." And I kind of stopped in my tracks and went, oh. She basically accidentally believes in Santa Claus because she's been seeing it everywhere on TV and movies and in the mall. So I kind of had to act quick and have a conversation with her about it. I told her Santa Claus is imaginary, he's not real, and essentially I want her to just think of Santa as a character that goes along with Christmas, just like Rudolph or Frosty the Snowman. You know, we don't believe that Frosty the Snowman is real, but he's part of Christmas and it's just fun. When I told her that Santa was imaginary, she broke down crying. So I got to have this conversation much earlier than most kids do, but I sat down and explained to her why we celebrate Christmas. And this is something that I've been going over with her a lot over the last year, just to get her to understand that the reason we celebrate Christmas is Jesus. that Christmas is his birthday and Santa's fun and we can talk about him and watch movies about him, but the reason we give presents, the reason we put up decorations, the reason we get together with family is all because of Jesus. After this long spiel, I could see her wheels turning in her head and she was quiet for a little bit and I thought, oh boy, what is she thinking? And then she stops and looks at me and goes, so Jesus is Santa Claus? So that was kind of a fail, but it's a continual conversation that we'll have. So at the end of the day, like I said, I don't think that having your kids believe in Santa Claus is wrong or a sin, but we always have to remember that our kids need to understand why we're celebrating. And so I think that if it gets to the point where Santa becomes this almost false god where we talk about him more than we talk about Jesus, then it's kind of becoming a problem. And so, you know, if you do choose to have your kids believe in Santa, I think that's great and it's fun, but just make sure that you're having conversations with them about Jesus and that ultimately he is the reason that we celebrate.